Aloha, hi, I'm Angela Flynn, and with me this month is Lori Patch. Some of you may have seen me, this show I aired on the month of March, and I'm here to talk about wireless radiation that we get exposure from all of our wireless devices and cell towers, smart meters. First thing I want to do is just let you know some important websites in case you want to get in touch with us or find out more information. Bioinitiative.org is a website. It's a report that was put out in 2007 and just updated in 2012 by 29 researchers who are experts in this field, and their conclusion is that the federal guidelines to protect us from all this radiation from wireless isn't protective. Not a big surprise. The federal government says we can have 1,000 microwatts per centimeter squared. By initiative, researchers say we should keep it down to 0.001. So that's a vast difference. Many of us are getting exposures well over the 0.001, and even over other countries. China, Russia, Italy, Switzerland, and Monaco say that we should keep it to 10 microwatts. So again, the federal government here says 1,000. So many of us are well over 10 microwatts already too, just with the wireless devices in our houses, if we live next to a cell tower. Which brings me to our next issue here, which is the Kilauea Operation Don't Sell Out. We have a Facebook page, which you can go and find on Facebook. I also have Lori's email, which if you want to contact her, she lives in Kilauea, very close to this proposed site of a cell tower. Her email is lorrainepatch@gmail.com. The next number I have, name and number, is for Jim Kelly at KIUC. Many of you may be aware that we're having a smart meter rollout on the island. A lot of people are having very serious ill health effects after the smart meters are put on their homes. The meters have a radio transmitter in them. Again, it's just adding to our exposure. Each time another device is turned on, it goes up and up and up, and people are more likely to have ill health effects. So you can call Jim Kelly at 246-4308 and request that you do not have a smart meter. And if you've already had one put on, you can request that they put an analog electromechanical meter back on your house with no transmitter. And then I have my contact, which I am Angela Flynn. My number is 822-3982. You can email me at greenevolutionusa@gmail.com. And then at the bottom here, we have planetoasis.org, which is the website for a local group here on the island that's working on the smart meter issue very intensively. So if you need help with your smart meter, definitely get in touch with the folks at Planet Oasis. So I'm going to turn it over to Lori here for a little bit, and she can talk about what is happening in Kilauea.
Thank you, Angela. My name is Lori Patch, and I live in the Kilauea Estate subdivision, where the proposed 80-foot, 8-story cell tower is being proposed to be built on the Lighthouse Christian Fellowship property. We're here to stand up for the health of the Kilauea community, and one of the things that we're also here to inform the public about is we don't want anyone on Kauai to have to go through what we're going through. So we're hoping to bring forward to the county council ordinances that will prevent cell towers being built directly in neighborhoods. This cell tower is proposed to be erected, I believe, about 150 feet from our homes, and also next to a preschool and the Kauai Christian Academy. Its tower installation is planned by AT&T and New Singular Wireless, and the proposed fake pine tree tower would violate zoning. They need permits and a variance, so we're fighting that, and we're hoping that the county will say no. There's going to be a planning commission meeting May 14th at 9 a.m. This is tentative. You would need to check on the planning commission's website, which is kauai.gov, and look under planning, and it'll have the agenda, and it's generally posted about 3 days before the meeting, so it gets a little tricky trying to figure out when it is. But we do ask that you contact the planning department, the planner Ka'ainaho, and the planning director Michael Dahilig. You can look it up in the phone book. The number, I know it by heart now, is 241-4050, I believe. I should double check that. but you can find it in the phone book. We're,
Might be on there. Is it on the flyer?
yeah, take a look.
I need my glasses.
Yeah.
To contact the planning commissioners, to call to check on the meeting, I have that down here. So that has, where is the phone number here?
I'm almost sure.
Oh, 241-4050.
Perfect, perfect.
So that you can check, and it is good to call in advance because these meetings get delayed. They originally were scheduled for the 9th of this month, got delayed till May 14th. We can't guarantee it's going to be on the 14th.
You know, another really neat thing is Hawaii on Channel 53 has been televising the March 27th meeting. So if you check the Hawaii website, you'll look for March 27th Planning Commission hearing Part 1, and you'll see us testifying.
Yes.
And it's a great...
And other community members.
Yeah. And I also wanted to recommend watching a video called Resonance. Yeah, thank you. Resonance, Beginning of Frequency by James Russell. And that film explores the impact of electromagnetic fields. We're opposing this 80-foot, 8-story cell tower because it violates the zoning laws. And we also are very aware of the human health hazards. And the 1996 Telecommunications Act forbids us from using health as a reason to ask the county to deny these permits. But we do have information that our property values will go down. It'll be harder to sell our house because right now nobody wants to live by a cell tower, so how are we going to be able to sell our house if they were to put that up? And we really feel that this is going to affect everybody on the island of Kauai. We need to stop this so it doesn't happen to you, to Kalaheo, to Kapaa.
Well, that's a very important issue here. A lot of the cell towers on the island, you'll notice they're kind of off in the distance, and that's where cell towers belong. This particular cell tower that AT&T wants to put up would have 12 transmitters right off the bat. The AT&T representative at the Kilauea neighborhood meeting just a couple of weeks ago said that it would broadcast at 22 microwatts per centimeter squared at 50 feet distance. That's a really high power considering what we've had in the past. And that's because this is for smartphones. Smartphones use a lot more energy than the older phones because we're streaming video and playing games. All the everything we're doing is adding. I mean, smartphones have 4 transmitters in them as opposed to a cell phone which only had 1. So it's a big problem. And so there's also cell towers that are in towns. I mean, Kapaa has one by the Costules. A lot of these older towers are getting upgraded to new transmitters that are more powerful, so it's a big problem for everyone here. And as Lori mentioned, we don't have a cell tower siting ordinance, so it's something that is lacking here on the island. There's good models. The town of Hempstead, New York, has a great wireless facility ordinance, so we're hoping that we'll be able to model our ordinance on the one that they have there that's stood up to time. You know, it hasn't been defeated by the wireless industry, which often threatens to sue if anyone tries to interfere with them putting cell towers wherever they would like. And just one more website I forgot to mention here is this emfwise.com down below. That also has some great information. You'll hear from a lot of people that the health issue isn't really true and this can't hurt you, and you know, it's just not true. There's thousands of studies that show biological harm from this type of exposure. The Bioinitiative report, I really hope you'll go look at it, but this here, all these color-coded pages, these are all different studies, and the colors are the different biological effects that they found. They reviewed 5,000 studies just from 1,800 studies just over the last 5 years that have come out on this, and so it's a growing problem because it's a growing exposure. And just really quick, one last other thing I want to say, and we'll give our goodbye soon here. And this is going to play all through the month of May. So some of these segments that you'll see will be before the Planning Commission meeting, some will be after. If it's before, I really have to urge you to call and write to the Planning Commissioners and tell them that you do not want cell towers in our neighborhoods and they should deny this. But there's companies that sell shielding products. This catalog is filled with meter shielding products, and I brought a sample here. This material actually has silver thread, and it shields. So we can put this up and block, and I have one over my window. It blocked some of my neighbor's Wi-Fi signal from coming in my house. I sleep so much better when I have it up, so that's a common symptom people have, is they can't sleep when they get around this high exposure. When you can't sleep, that leads to chronic ill health. So it's, it adds up. It's kind of a stress response we get. And when we're under chronic stress, we're more likely to get cancer, have adrenal fatigue, problems with our thyroids, on and on the list is. So let Lori kind of wrap up here for us. I think we're down to our last minute or so.
Yeah, being a cancer survivor, I never really ever thought about cancer coming back. It's never crossed my mind, but hearing about this 80-foot, 8-story cell tower that they want to put approximately 150 feet from my home does give me some concern. We are using our constitutional rights, and it's just incredible. The community is backing us. The Kilauea Neighborhood Association is going to write a letter to the county saying we don't want it. We're out protesting in front of the Lighthouse Christian Church on Sundays at 9 a.m. Please come join us. We want to protect the children and our livelihood. Our lives depend on this. Our lives have value. We have no money to gain in this. We're spending our money and our time, and it's just incredible. We spent like $40 at the commission, the planning department and everything, making copies and getting copies of things and making signs, and we have nothing to benefit. And we know that the church will benefit. They're leasing their land, but they're not disclosing how much money they'll be making. So we just ask you to please support us and join us. Please come to the Planning Commission meeting if this airs before May 14th at 9 a.m. Do call the Planning Department to make sure that it is on the agenda, and keep us in your heart and in your thoughts and prayers, and we will hope for the best, and we're going to win. We're going to win, and we're going to do this for the community, for everybody. It's not just about us. It's about Kauai. So we're thinking of renaming it Kauai Operation Don't Sell Out. Thank you so much.
That'll be next month.
Aloha.
Aloha. Thank you.